I used to know people who thought that you're only as spiritual as you are cleansed in terms of your inner body, like doing detoxification work. And although I've done a lot of detox work, I've done a couple master cleanses, 7-day water fast, a lot of 3 to 4 day water fasts, a lot of 1 meal a day, some raw vegan eating. I was on the carnivore diet at one point. Tried all of it. I tried so many different things, man. I was vegan for 5 years. Some people literally believe that you are only as spiritual as you are detoxified, and that there's some kind of ultimate pinnacle of being like breatharian. Gotta get to that breatharian. Well, I'm talking about, dude, like not even breath, just hold your breath. Pranatarian. Etherian. But in all honesty, I want to just come on here and say that I've completely debunked that paradigm for myself. I've had some of the deepest awakening and mystical experiences and been in some very powerful, energetic spaces when I was just eating pizza. I only ate pizza for 4 days, 4 to 5 days, almost 5 days, to disprove this idea to myself. Because I know that's very tempting to basically believe that you can control your conscious experience through the material world, through the physical. But what I found is it's actually the opposite. Your health is largely dictated by your vibration, by your consciousness, by the way that your consciousness relates to your experience. So I'm here to disprove this idea for myself. It's a donut, if you couldn't tell. And basically, help put the power back in your hands. Because I think a lot of people get very orthorexic, which basically means obsessed about food. I know I did. Especially when you're convinced that your food is affecting your mental and spiritual state so profoundly. You don't realize that you're writing that program as you're doing it. You don't realize that belief, your subconscious is running that belief. So it's saying, oh, okay, anytime you eat cooked food, you're going to feel like shit. And then you've written that program now. I've had friends who've done like 100-day juice fasts. Like, that's a pretty long time. Even longer, 110 days. And I've seen people get down to like skin and bones, really. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's definitely a time and place where you want to, some of us, we want to have these extreme experiences. We want to push ourselves. We want to see what's possible with the human body. But I think where it gets quite dangerous is when it becomes prescriptive. Like, everybody should do this. Everybody should detox exactly like what I'm doing. And also that kind of hierarchical judgment of other people who aren't eating that way or doing the detoxing on a regular protocol, kind of judging them as lesser than. Understand, we all have different karma, and everybody's just doing the best from what they know from their current perspective. And probably if they had been made aware in a very inviting way of some information around detox and seasonal detoxification, they'd probably be into it. So everybody's just doing what they know from where they're at. And you can't really judge anybody. And like I said, I've come to the space that for me, for myself, after having tried tons of different detoxes, tons of cleanses, been around people who've really pushed this ideology, this belief system, this way of eating, fruitarian, raw vegans, I've just seen through this whole thing, man. I don't want to say it's dangerous, because it's not necessarily dangerous. I think it can be dangerous when it's prescriptive. It can be socially isolating when you kind of isolate yourself from other people based on like, okay, they don't eat like me, so I can't hang out with them. Legit, some people do this. So I want to give you that encouragement and that remembrance that it's all an inner journey. It's all about an inner journey. And whatever you do your best. But I'm also, I'm a little bit more of the tantric path. So for me, I love enjoying life's rich pleasures. Somebody else might be a bit more ascetic oriented. They find more fulfillment from restricting those pleasures and focusing inwards. That's cool. That's not my bend. I don't think it's going to be everybody's bend. So just really, really remember that everybody's here for a different journey. And also, certain pleasures of life exist. I mean, they're here. And we can learn and extract wisdom from whatever we do. So don't limit yourself. Allow your intuition to guide you. That's been a big, big thing for me. So if you've been of the volition of some of these different, especially extremely restrictive diets, just really open up your mind to following your heart. And if that means you stay in that, then keep doing that. If that means things change, then let them change. It was really challenging for me. I remember when I wanted to start following my intuition, I felt really peer pressured and guilted to not do that. And it's been a big journey to kind of step into my sovereignty, to realize, whoa, I'm not just like one of the herd. I'm an individual who can make individual choices, and I can come to my own truth. A lot of us get into these different things because we want to connect. It's funny because actually some of the people who I know have got into like very extreme, like 100-day juice cleanses, and then like after they do that, they go so hard on the diet. Then they kind of do that and they're like, it didn't give them what they wanted. So then they left it. They left the diet. It's kind of like they had to go all in to be like, no. Well, my one friend, she did a 60-day juice, a grape juice and lemon fast. So just liquids of grape juice and lemon. It's like kind of like a lemonade thing. And she did that. And eventually she just left that to go to more of a whole food diet, because she was just like, it just made me so obsessed, so OCD about food, and it wasn't healthy for her. And I've heard tons of similar stories. So you got to watch out. You got to know what you're getting into, understand the cost benefit ratio, really decide, is this going to serve me in my life? Maybe it's an experiment, but I wouldn't, so this is just for me. I wouldn't clasp onto it as like a lifelong thing. Like, I'm going to eat this way forever. Take it day by day. See how you do in a few years, and maybe the whole thing will change. So yeah, completely disproven for me. Just sharing my personal experience. This is for me. For me, like literally eating a donut. The fact that I have demonized sugar, I've demonized all of these things. I started to write these programs in my consciousness that sugar equals like just disastrous health effects. And what I think that started to do is it started to program my subconscious to basically have weird autoimmune reactions to these things. Whereas now that I've sort of opened myself up a lot more and just basically decided what I think, which is what I always wanted, which is to have adaptive health, means my body is resilient enough to handle that. Something, feel good. I love Feel Good. That's why I bring him up all the time. He's like, yeah, I eat M&Ms sometimes. He's like, I eat cookies sometimes. Actually, a lot. And it's just, I think it's important to recognize your path, and recognize what actually serves you. So a lot of what we're doing at this time is we're letting go of fixed positions. It has to be this way. I have to eat this way. I made a video just yesterday about going from the solid state reality to the ethernet, the etheric reality. Solid state is a binary. It's a yes, it's a no. It's a judgment. This is the right way, this is the wrong way. And when we move into the ethernet, we understand life is fluid. So I live by principles. I'm healthy, I'm moving, I believe I'm healthy, I'm breathing. I have a healthy mentality, I have a healthy attitude. I live life, I'm out in nature. All of these things, I'm laughing, I'm joking as much as I can. And it's this holistic understanding. Health is not just food. Health is a vibration. That's the key. Health's a vibration. So once I started to understand that, and and connect with that, things like a donut don't seem to really affect me in the same way. Honestly, it seems like water off a duck's back. Whereas before, literally, I'm telling you before, if I wouldn't eat perfectly strict, I would get headaches, I would get bloating, I would get uncomfortable, I would feel like spiritually impure for like 2 days. It was horrible. And now it's just water off a duck's back. My body feels resilient. I feel adaptive, which means I can handle the stresses of life. So my little rant here, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Follow your heart. And no, you don't have to bandwagon. There's always going to be those of us who are like, hey, just do you. So just do you. I love you. Peace.